Okay, so this is about product market fit. Now, hopefully you like this. I'm using the new Meta Ray-Ban glasses. But basically, I was talking with one of my mentors, and he was saying that in a business, you have a runway. The goal is to get lift. And basically, what you have to do is you have to run these loops of iteration until you get product market fit, and hopefully you get it before you run out of runway, which is essentially cash in the bank. So how do you actually make this runway last longer without necessarily extending the runway? Well, it's pretty simple. You have tighter loops. So you can see how if we have long, slow loops, then we would need this much runway to get the same effect that we're getting right here with really tight loops and iterations. And so we were talking about this, and we had a really interesting conversation about when a company gets product market fit and they get lift versus when they are still iterating. And that those two companies are fundamentally different in the things that they need to do. For example, when you are in this stage and you are iterating, the goal is to improve. And your goal is to run these loops until you actually get to the point where you have a consistent person with a consistent problem and a consistent path to solve it. But once you find this and you get lift, then the goal is to optimize. Out of how many inputs, how many outputs do you get? And then we look at conversion rate and process along the entire customer journey. We identify the constraint and we focus on that constraint until we solve it. And so there's a fundamental difference between optimizing a business and improving a business. When you improve the business, you have to change the product and the messaging and all that kind of stuff. When you are optimizing it, you now have lift. It is now simply about how many inputs do you get, how many outputs do you get, what's the LTV to CAC ratio, and what's the biggest constraint, how can you solve that? So that is a short video on product market fit from my POV. Hopefully you can see everything. But this was a really interesting conversation for me. It gave me a lot of clarity, and I hope that it helps you understand the difference between a company where you are trying to iterate and improve versus a company that you are trying to optimize.